Courtesy of the NoSleep Reddit. This is the door in the basement. You know when you find someone special, you just know it. It's something about them that hooks you in and just refuses to let go. He was like that, my Charlie. Char was always so calm, even at the worst of times. I could be panicking and ready to break down, and he would just take my hands and give me this slight smile. It was always slight, never a full showing of teeth, almost like he didn't want to seem aggressive in any action he took. He could wrap his arms around me easily. I'm rather short and not built at all. Charlie, though, he was tall, lanky with plenty of muscle, the brightest blue eyes I have ever seen. They almost glowed. He would let me play with his hair when we cuddled, long and black as a void. Perfect. So very perfect. It sounds cliche, but that's how I felt. But some things were odd. As I mentioned, he was always careful with how he moved. Like if he did it wrong, something bad would happen. Even selecting a fork or spoon was done with this oh so careful consideration. Despite his build, I never saw him ever finish a plate of food. If I made dinner, he would always compliment me, but there would be half a plate of it, if not more, left sitting there for the leftovers. Then, when we moved in together, his house, as it was big enough for the both of us, he said he wanted the basement to himself. Yes, I thought, it was shady, and I told him so. He just gave me a smile and took me down there. Nothing shady about it, really. No whips or chains, or anything weird. It looked like he had made the biggest area into a reading room, with bookshelves all over the walls, and comfy plush chairs over a large carpet. Life continued at that kind of pace for 2 years. Sometimes I would ask why he didn't finish his food, or ask him to give me a full smile. He said he just got full easy, and he would give me what I asked for, but only for a moment, then it was gone. I left it alone. It was odd, yes, but he was my Char, and I didn't want to push him away. For some reason, the idea of being without him terrified me, probably more than it reasonably should have. Not that I noticed. One day, while I was off work, I succumbed to utter boredom. I had nothing to do. The internet was off because of some sort of maintenance, so I decided to read. I didn't have anything I hadn't read before though, so I went down to the basement. It wasn't locked because he trusted me. I thought he wouldn't mind me going down there to borrow a book. It's just a book after all. He had never denied me such things. I went down and right to the shelves to take in the titles. Some were off. Then I realized they were in different languages. That was new. I had no idea Char could read so many different ones. It was interesting, certainly, but nothing world-shaking. Charlie was a smart man after all, so not unusual. I found what seemed to be the English section and picked a random title. I wasn't very picky with books. It was when I turned to go back up the stairs that I heard it. A clinking sound. Kind of faint, but there. I should have just ignored it. It could have been anything in a basement, after all. But I didn't. I turned around to find the source. I put the book down on a table and started walking around, my ears wide open. I did 3 passes around the area without coming any closer to it. It wasn't until I got near the stairs that it got louder, but it wasn't upstairs. It was behind the stairs. The basement stairs were not solid, and there was an area made for storage right behind them. It could have been rat or mouse nosing around in some of the boxes. But I went back to check. After all, Char had books down here that would surely be eaten up if a rat problem got out of hand. So I shifted some around looking for the stupid thing, and then I saw it. I saw the outline of a door. What could a door be doing back here? So I walked up to it like an idiot. The sound was coming from behind it, and it was much louder now. Clearly the sound of metal on metal. I didn't think it was anything sinister. I thought it was pipes or another storage space. I thought so many things, but nothing could have come close to the truth. It took a few hard tugs to get it open, and it slid across the concrete with a spine-rattling, scraping noise. There behind the door was a person, a girl, laying there on the floor with a chain around her neck. It was scraping against the metal floor. I looked up and saw it was connected to the wall, welded into it. I stood there for minutes, maybe 20, just staring. I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing, or why I was seeing it. Charlie wasn't some murderer, surely. He was a kind, smart, gentle man. Then the oddest sensation came over me. I was angry. I was so angry. The most rage I have ever felt in my life was directed at this girl on the floor. What did he need a female for in the first place? Was I not good enough for him? How much of his time had she taken up, and how many times had he touched her in ways he was only supposed to touch me? I lost myself in this anger, and before I knew it, I was shaking this poor frightened things in my hand and yelling at her. I demanded to know who she was, and what she was doing here. She just gaped at me, her mouth hanging open and her eyes bulging out. Then I looked at her. Really looked at her. She wasn't thin, but well fed. Dirty, of course, but seemingly fine other than her dirt and smell. Then I saw them. Bite marks. Bite marks all over the place. Her arms, legs, hips, thighs, breasts, she was covered in them. Some old, nothing more than scars, and some so fresh they were blood red. I dropped her and backed away. She found her voice then, begging me for help, begging me to get out of here. I ran. It's shameful, but I ran out of there as though the place were on fire and slammed that door shut behind me. I don't remember walking back upstairs. I don't remember sitting down, but there I was, sitting there, staring at my hands. They were covered in dirt from her skin and hair. Worse still, I recognized her. It was hard to pinpoint why her face seemed so familiar at first, but I did know. 11 years ago, when I was just a teenager, a girl went missing from my area. They never found her, and she was assumed to be a runaway or dead. Her name was Cindy something. I don't remember the last name. There wasn't a huge stir about it. No national news coverage or anything like that. But it was the talk of the town for years. When Charlie came home, he was as cheerful as ever, until he saw me, still sitting there. I looked at him with tears in my eyes. Then I told him I was sorry. I told him I was sorry, like I had committed some grievous sin against him. He just kneeled down to me and smiled. He told me it was all right. He stroked my cheek, wiped away my tears. He made me promise never go down there again, and I agreed. That night I left. I didn't take anything with me except some sparse savings. That was several years ago now. I don't know what became of Cindy, but I do know that Charlie isn't going to ever let me go. Not really. He must have been there for years watching me, waiting for a chance to work his way into my life. I know he has always been there. No matter where I go or end up, my Charlie is waiting for me. I'm tired of running. I don't know what he's going to do to me, but I'm tired. And as stupid as it sounds, I miss him. Every day I miss him. Like there's a piece of me missing, like a fragment of my very soul isn't there anymore. So I give up. I'm not running tonight. I'm gonna wait for my Charlie to come take me home. Just know that should you meet a man with long, beautiful black hair, a slight smile, and glowing blue eyes, that you should go the other way. Because if he wants you, he will never stop until he has you.